And welcome into your local election headquarters here at KRK4 and Fox 16. I'm Mitch McCoy. We are continuing today with all of our interviews on the candidates running for the Little Rock Board of Directors. I don't want to waste any time. I want to get straight to our next candidate. Tell us your name and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name's Tom Horton, um, and I filed for position 9 at large, Little Rock City Board of Directors. Um, what I think about is the citizens of Little Rock are entitled to be protected by their police department, whether they pay taxes or not. They should be free to walk in their own neighborhood and downtown while being safe. Meanwhile, some city councils are defunding their police departments. Crime is rising, and ordinary people are paying the price. I support the police and fire departments and strongly back their continued monetary budgets. Public safety and law and order are two of the main reasons I filed for position 9. Also, I support the Second Amendment for sportsmen and sportswomen, as well as self-defense. Some of my qualifications are: I have a BS in biology from UALR. I have a BS in pharmacy from UAMS College of Pharmacy. Served 1 2-year term as the Justice of the Peace in the Big Rock Township while attending UALR. Volunteered for Riverfest. I volunteered at the Clinton Presidential Library for 2 years, first 2 years it was open. I was a member of the Plaquemine County Master Gardeners Volunteer Program and volunteered at the Arkansas Flower and Garden Show. I'm a strong proponent of capitalism, not socialism. I stand for the national anthem and our American flag. I support our military and veterans. During the Vietnam War, I had to take the military physical and written test. They said only one person ever scored 100, and the average was 30 to 35. Well, I scored 93. At least that's what the doctor told me when he was taking my blood pressure. Also, I am pro-life except in cases of rape or incest. I'm a Christian. I'm a retired pharmacist, owned my own drugstore for 15 years, practiced pharmacy for 30, and I understand business.
Well, let's get right into the questions. And we heard you talk a little bit about crime here in your opening remarks. Crime in Little Rock has been an issue for years. What is your opinion on the relationship between the Little Rock Police Department and the community? What ideas do you have to improve community policing, and how should the crime rate be addressed?
I think law abiding citizens in Little Rock support our local law officers. The Little Rock Police Department has created stations in the communities, and they work closely with those citizens. There are 3 stations: the 12th Street Station, the Northwest Station, and the Southwest Station. Downtown at the River Market, there's also a substation. The city board has purchased body cams for more officers to wear when they're on duty. Approximately 80% of minorities living in high crime neighborhoods do not want to defund the police. I don't either. I think if we hired more police officers, that would help reduce the crime rate. The only way to do that is to work it in our budget that we have at this time. I think that if we use our police officers to target the 5 high crime areas in Little Rock, which are in decreasing order, the highest crime rate area is Geyer Springs and Baseline, and then going in decreasing order south of I-630 to Cedar, Maryland Road. 4 is Bull Park, and 5th is West 25th Street. The Opportunity Zone federal program offers yearly grants and can be accessed at www.justicegrants.usdoj.gov. Within that area, there are 4 federal grant programs that can be used to help reduce Little Rock's crime rate. One is Adult Drug Court and Veterans Treatment Court. 2, the Second Chance Act. 3, Opium Abuse Grant Program. 4, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Grant Program. Crime makes people leave Little Rock, and the city is losing 0.13% currently of its population annually. So I think those are some of the things that can be done to help improve the situation, Mitchell.
Well, there is an apparent discord inside the Little Rock Police Department. The police chief is facing multiple lawsuits from current and former city employees. The police chief, in his individual capacity, is suing Little Rock employees over civil rights violations. How do you plan on addressing these apparent issues inside the city's police department?
Well, I have been reading about that situation. This is how I would answer that question, Mitchell. Do my job as a city board director and work with both sides to keep the city police department operating in order to protect Little Rock citizens and let the court settle any legal disputes between the 2 parties involved. There's an old saying, let the wind stir the dust and the rain settle it. So in other words, I would just be nonpartisan and try to work with both sides and continue to work for the people of Little Rock and do our job.
Okay. The board's at-large positions have always been a hot topic. Do you believe the board should be restructured?
Scored. How do you think? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question, please?
Sure. The board's at-large positions have always been a hot topic. Do you believe the board should be restructured?
Okay. I think it is. Mayor Scott has mentioned his desire to eliminate the city board's at-large positions, and I think it's only a matter of conjecture at this point. And I'm not sure, but also I think it takes the state Arkansas legislature to do that, but I'm not sure about that. I would have to check into that further.
Okay.
However, from my perspective, each city ward has a representative to speak for their direct interests only. The at-large representatives can speak for interests of Little Rock citizens as a whole. Representing both of the views creates a balance that benefits everyone, but not just a select few. To benefit the many over the few is more democratic to me. Now, if the at-large positions were eliminated, then we would have to go with it. And that's the way it would be.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the city government here. Some board members have been vocal in recent months about an apparent disconnect between the mayor's office and some members of the board. How do you plan on working with the executive office but still hold executive leadership accountable?
Oh. Well, my answer to that question, Mitchell, would be the mayor's job is to oversee the big picture of running city government. The city manager's job is to run the day-to-day operations of city government and produce guidelines for each department's budget. Our job as a city board of directors is to take all the information and proposals provided by the mayor and city manager and decide what to spend the city's money on and still fall within a solvent budget. Little Rock's yearly budget is $269 million, and it's a huge responsibility for all three bodies of city government. Done properly, we are all accountable.
Well, some say that the city has taken a significant step to revitalize neighborhoods. Others would disagree. How would you further some of these efforts to revitalize neighborhoods?
For Little Rock to grow, it needs to keep and attract businesses and stop losing population. Lowering violent crime in Little Rock and increasing job opportunities would be a step in the right direction. Under the Opportunity Zones program, the Economic Development Administration provides strategic investments through grants and job creation, and attracts private investment. Also available is the Section 203K limited mortgage program, which permits home buyers and homeowners to finance rehabilitation costs into their mortgage for minor remodeling and non-structure repairs. Also, we can have the Little Rock Code Enforcement Department make sure vacant lots, yards, business parking lots are well kept and clear of weeds and litter. Preserving community and neighborhood choice will help maintain property values for homeowners. No increase in Little Rock's sales tax will further boost growth. As of 2020, the city has 75 land bank properties in opportunity zones for revitalization, and joins with nonprofit organizations, neighborhood associations, or government agencies for turning vacant land into housing or commercial development use. Also, opportunity zones provide tax incentives to stimulate economic growth and revitalization. Those are some of the concepts that I would approach to solve that problem.
Okay. People have voiced concerns about a racial divide, specifically using Interstate 630 as a reference between poor neighborhoods, middle class, and upper class neighborhoods. What part will you have to help unite the city?
Well, I think a person's income is strongly related to the amount of education that person has gotten for themselves. A higher education generally means a greater financial income. The more money a person makes determines where that person is able to live in any city. Little Rock provides free use of computers for kids that parents can't afford to buy one. The Arkansas Lottery provides scholarships for many college students. Opportunities are out there. Under the Opportunity Zones federal program, there are technical education and workforce development programs to better prepare workers in distressed communities for jobs. So what part will I have to unite the city? I would ask myself, does a certain proposal for the city affect and benefit everyone? Is this proposal cost efficient? Will it safeguard the individual's liberties? Can this program help children or families? Can this proposal make citizens more safe in their own neighborhoods? Can it help with affordable housing? That's what I would do.
Okay, so you're talking about looking out for every citizen. That's my next question. If elected, what will you do to improve the quality of life for every citizen in this city? I'm sorry, I caught you right in the middle of a drink.
Well, Mitchell, I think every person is responsible for their own happiness. But to answer your question, what I might do to help improve the quality of life for people in Little Rock, I have three suggestions. I would propose to let churches hold services for families in their parked cars, with the cars themselves being socially distanced apart and people wearing masks, except for the preacher using the PA system. Also, no choir. Secondly, I would tell the public the city board has a citizen communication program where he or she has 3 minutes to address the Little Rock City board members on every first and third Tuesday of each month. And the session itself lasts a total of 30 minutes. Anyone that wishes to address the city board is required to submit a yellow card that's available from the city clerk before the meeting starts outside the board chambers in the hallway, and that yellow card is available outside in the hallway as well. Last thing, by serving on the city board, I would want to make Little Rock a better place to live and work by trying to be the best at what I do at my job.
So, if elected, your term would consist of rebuilding the city's economy after the COVID-19 global health pandemic. Many businesses have been forced to close. What kind of experience do you have to ensure Little Rock not only bounces back, but grows to a new height?
Well, unlike most of the other candidates for position 9, I'm retired and able to devote all my time and energies to working on the city board of directors without having another full-time job elsewhere. I will take working now, as far as experience, I will take working part-time in a grocery store from 16 years old to 28 years old until graduating from UMS College of Pharmacy, operating and owning my drugstore for 15 years, working for chain drugstores for 12, doing relief work at independent pharmacies for about 3 years. And in doing all that, I've learned a lot about business and people from all walks of life. So I would apply all my previous work experience to helping Little Rock bounce back, along with serving with the other city board members. In addition, when I was a student at ULR, I served 1 2-year term as Justice of the Peace for the Big Rock Township, and have experience working on the Pulaski County budget during those 2 years. And that was in the early 1970s before they dissolved the huge Big Rock Township. Mm-hmm. Also, while I was at ULR, I studied economics and accounting. So those are some of my qualifications and experience in the past.
Okay. In recent years, the city announced a financial struggle, which caused layoffs and park closures. If elected, how will you ensure the city avoids future layoffs and other closures?
To me, Mitchell, the best way to avoid these problems is to work within a balanced budget and not spend more money than the city takes in. Keeping city employees gainfully employed and the city parks open is essential for the city's well-being. Bringing down violent crimes in Little Rock will keep more people from leaving at an annual rate of 0.13%. Also, having a vaccine for the COVID-19 will jumpstart Little Rock's economy and keep it growing. The Clinton Presidential Library will reopen and draw more tourists back to Little Rock. Changing Little Rock's national airport to an international airport can provide more city revenue and jobs to make Little Rock more solvent. And lastly, taking advantage of the Opportunity Zone federal funding, which is easily accessible at opportunityzones.gov, will increase our city revenue. And those are some of the solutions I have.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it.
Well, Mitchell, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, just a reminder, Election Day, November 3rd at KRK4 and Fox 16. We are your local election headquarters leading up to the Election Day and, of course, on the big day. For now, take care.